Hey, what's up, everybody? Peace and blessings. Gerald Hassan, Enlightened Minds Enterprise, aka Mr. Shift Your Perspective. All about the broadening of perspective, right? So now here's a perspective that I was asked to speak on, and I had posted a post earlier about the love of a mother and a father and how they are different, and how if an individual had never experienced the love of a father, how they could easily perceive that love from that father, or that father's type of love, or that man's type of love, or that male's type of love as an abusive type of love. Some people call it toxic masculinity, when in truth, all he is a man. He's a man. But things have changed so much. The identity of a male, the identity of a man. Men carry themselves different. In some ways, it's better. In some ways, it's worse. When you use that, when I say different, I mean comparison. Let's say in this country, when you go back and just study the history of the male and the female, let's just say back in the 40s or maybe even the 30s or whatever, in the 50s, this was a different type of man and woman, right? So, um, these individuals are represented differently today. Again, in some in good ways, in some bad ways. But now, the mayor, under the school of thought that I stand on, and the reason why I agreed with T.D. Jakes when he made that statement, because the school of thought that I stand on is that the man was created to be a provider and a maintainer of the woman. So now when we say provider and a maintainer, I'm saying provide and maintain on a physical level, on a mental level, and on a spiritual level. He is to provide and maintain her on all these different levels, not just in a financial way, not just in a physical way. Hey, hey, hold on. Not just in a physical way. And pardon me for a minute. I had some people just pulled up, but um, not just in those other ways, but on all ways. And so that is the way, like when you hear today, you might hear people say, well, men need to feel valued. Men need to feel that you need him, because the way he shows his love, the way he shows who he is, the way he loves is by doing a certain thing. He has to bring, he has to produce, right? This is really like one of the major essence of a man, is that he produces. This is the way he shows he loves. This is the way he shows he values. So sometimes, let's just say, for example, a man never expresses verbally that he loves you. In some senses, a man may feel that I don't necessarily have to say it when I show you. I carry out a certain duty every day. I make sure that you're physically safe, that you're mentally safe, that you're spiritually safe. I make sure that that you have everything that you want and you need. So for me to have to verbalize and tell you that I love you, or to verbalize and tell you that I'm all yours and you're all me, it's like some men feel that is unnecessary. But we just reached a data where a lot of time people, or we feel that we need to have that explained, right? So now again, versus a female or a mother or however, versus a female, her love is a bit different. Her love is more nurturing. Her love is more, affection. Her love is more verbal, even expressive, even. She loves to do. She does. Just a thing about her that gives her life. She loves to spend time. She loves to create art. Since she loves to beautify. And so this is one of the things that makes us different in regards to how we show that love. And so I think that because of how society is set up today, how things have been unbalanced so much today, and one of the things we tend to leave out of the fact that for those of us who believe in a spiritual world, believe in a supreme being, believe in Satan, we have to always factor in the fact that when we look at society, things has been shifted so much because of unseen powers, unseen things at work. One of the things they say about Satan is that everything God say do, Satan say don't do. Everything God say don't do, Satan say do. So understand this here. Everything that God create, Satan try to use that very same creation and flip it. A lie is only the truth that's been twisted up. So now, if a man was set out to be the head of the household, to set out to be the lead, right? If that was his obligation to be put up front, to be the shield of his union, of his family, right? To be the shield against everything that the world is going to throw at that family. If he was the one who was set to absorb all that, then you have to understand that he had to be structured a certain way. If an individual would have a certain obligation, like if you go work at a certain job and you are given a certain obligation or a duty at that job to carry out, then they can't expect for you to carry out that obligation if they don't equip you first. They have to equip you with certain training, equip you with certain equipment for you to be able to carry out that job efficiently. So likewise, our supreme being, for those of us who do believe in a supreme being, he's not going to designate the man to be the head of the house, to be the provider, maintainer, the protector, if he doesn't equip him a certain way. So you have to understand that this equipment isn't just physical, but it's also mental. His mental makeup is different than a woman's. But you have, with understanding that his mental makeup is different, his physical makeup is different, while our spirituality is may be alike in a lot of ways, maybe even that is different in some aspects. But because I myself believe that the spirit and the mental are connected. The mental isn't a part of the brain. The brain is a part of the body. And that mental part of us is a part of our spiritual self. So if the feminine spiritual self and the mental if the feminine spiritual self and the masculine or the male feminine self are different, then again they are put in a certain type of vessel to help express that spirituality in a sense, to allow that spirituality to carry out its obligation. The woman in all her beauty. Like she's a nurturer. She's a comforter. And I'm going to tell you something. There's nothing more comforting than to be able to be physically embraced by a woman and hugged by a woman and to lay up on a woman and to be in a woman and all that. It's like that's like heaven on earth for a man, especially like when he truly admires her and he's in love with her. You know what I'm saying? And this is when you're talking about something so strong and something made in such a way to where, it isn't necessary to show a certain weakness to the world. It's built a certain kind of way. But when you're talking about something that's made like that, but is able to totally be vulnerable when he's with her and when he's in her or when he's upon her, this is, because she gives him that comfort, and mind you, it's meant to be that way because everything in creation comes from that feminine force. So when she births him a certain way, when she brings him in a certain way, of course we're going to have a natural innate inclination towards her and towards that nurturing and towards that comfort, because we come from that comfort first. We come from that nurturing first. But for a male, he has to be brought out of that comfort because he has a certain obligation in the world. He can't grow up in that comfort all his life because he grow up now unequipped. He grow up tilted. He grow up imbalanced because his other side, his more dominant side, has never been really cultivated, and only he, the other male force, can cultivate that like that. But it's unfortunate that a lot of times the male today, he's unbalanced. He's very tilted because you have a long lineage of males who grow out without this father, this real masculine father cultivation. And it's very necessary and needed because look where we are today. We have a very feminine world. We have an over-sexualized world. And it has a lot to do with our feminine energy. Our inclination for expressing ourselves through the sexual expression. It's more of a feminine force as well. It's a feminine expression. It's a feminine inclination. I'm not saying it's bad. It's not bad at all. I'm saying it is something that has become unbalanced. It is something that has come has kind of went unchecked because of the fact that many males and females has grown up without the shaping and cultivation of that masculine force, that masculine love, that masculine energy. And understanding one of the major characteristics of a male mental mental capacity or mental peace, I would say, is the establishment of law and order. He structures. That's why whenever you come across a man in whatever degree that he exists on, whatever his maturity level is, whatever it is, whenever you come across a man, men are always trying to fix something. Men are always trying to instruct something, tell somebody what to do. You know what I'm saying? Because really that's just a part of his divine makeup. He just hasn't got it in check yet. He hasn't cultivated in a way to where it's healthy yet, to the point to where he exhibits this thing in a very balanced way. One can say a very loving way, but I'm going to say a very balanced way, because loving is a vague idea when it's not really broke down. So I'm going to say it in a very balanced way, in a way to where his love isn't causing turbulence. Let me tell you something. So in closing on this, because I really hope that I'm clear. If I haven't been clear, please feel free to ask any questions. And if you want to join the live to talk to me and answer the question, feel free to let me know. What else I said? Last thing was that, God dog it. Shit. What was I about to tell you? Oh, I wish y'all can help me pick up my last words that I was finna say. But I'm gonna have to just carry on. Maybe it'll come back to me. But anyway, that his makeup is different. His love is different. He carried out different. And because of his absence, because of his lack of cultivation, the world is at a major imbalance in many aspects, not just in the black society, black culture, but in the many. Oh, this is what I was going to tell you. Good, came back. Bam, I know it would. So this is what I'm going to tell you. So one time I was speaking at an event. It was at an event for anti-bullying kids. So I'm talking really to kids mainly. And the mothers was there. I had asked for the parents to come, but it was really only mothers there. I think it maybe like 2 fathers had come, but it was really like mostly mothers, right? So this is the anti-bullying event. I'm talking to the kids, the mothers, and so on. Guess what? So when I gave some instructions to the kids, and this instruction was: if someone hits you, don't hit them back. If someone hits you, you go tell somebody, because it's not your obligation to protect yourself right now. It's the responsibility of the adults, your family, grown people that's put in protection or over you at that point to protect you and to fight your battles. It's not for you to fight your battles right now. You're not in a mature state to be able to fight your battles. You don't know what to do to really fight your battles in the most responsible way. So now, when I said that, it was an uproar. The family, the mothers, the kids, all had an uproar. But check this out. It was such an uproar that it became a disorder. The kid, why? The mothers, why? So it became a disorder, right? I'm trying to calm down. So the woman who was hosting this, she's a very strong woman, very, she came in regulating like a mother. Hey, one thing we ain't gonna do, and she got to regulate, and guess what? Everybody shut up. The mothers and the kids shut up. And so she said all she said, because she kind of went into a spell on them. And then she passed the mic back to me. But the thing was this here. I had shared this with a brother after the event, and he gave me a perspective that I hadn't looked at it from. He said, man, that's the result of these individuals being raised by women. He said it's to a point to where we respect the word and the voice of a woman more than a man, because we're not really raised and cultivated by men like that. The authority is coming from the woman now in regards to that. So women are used to women taking charge and being the authority. So women are more responsive, and men are more responsive toward the woman's command and voice and authority than they are to the male. So when the male come in and voices authority, instruction, guess how it's took? It's not necessarily took out of love. It's taken as an offense. They become defensive. They become, hey, why you talking so loud? You need to lower your voice. Why you seem so mad? Why you seem so frustrated? Why you seem so aggravated? Why and I've heard that so many times, like, because I speak with so much passion and I speak with volume, but that's a man. A man like the lion in the jungle. He don't walk through there soft spoken. Hey, will you please get over? A man is an authoritative figure by nature. So when he's speaking and verbalizing things, sometimes it comes off like that. It comes off in a way that where it's perceived as something negative. It's perceived as something ill. It's perceived as something violent when that's not the case. It's so we live in a society now where not only are other races afraid of the black male, but our own women are afraid of the black male. Our and even other males are intimidated by other black males because a lot of times what has happened is that we are demasculizing the black male and making them have a feminine mentality. And so this is what's becoming acceptable is when a man, and so if you think about this for women, why you gravitate to homosexual males. You love homosexual males. You like hanging around. You love, being around. But in the same sense, you don't want your man to be homosexual, but you love a homosexual male. But here's the thing. Here's what's happening here. The mentality of a homosexual male. He's a male, but he has a feminine mentality, right? And so what is happening and for women who are abused and hurt by males coming up, and she has a son, what happens sometimes is that she'll begin to cultivate her son to be everything other than what has abused her. So in all of the things that has abused her, without viewing herself at all, because sometimes the female you have to analyze yourself and make sure you didn't bring on certain things. You didn't put yourself in certain positions. It was a certain type of mindset you was dealing with. And so what happened is that she'll cultivate him in a way to where he's softer. He's softer spoken. He doesn't do certain things. And I've seen mothers literally kill the will in a young male, kill his young masculinity. He don't even know how to make no decisions for himself. He's scared to make a decision. You tell him, I cut so many little boys out. I said, what kind of haircut you want? What you want? He looks straight to his mom. And mothers are okay with it, and you have to get out of that. You have to start making him be a leader. Women quick to say, I want a leader. I want a man that can make decisions. But mothers are killing that in young males. They're killing that creative force. They're killing that leading mindset. And really, when it comes to the opposite of killing it, the only ones who can truly cultivate it. I mean, you can do your part to cultivate it by allowing him to make some choices, by allowing just trying to help him grow into his independence in a sense. But at the same time, he needs to be around strong masculine men. He needs to be, you come on. Hey, you come on. He needs to be around strong masculine men. You know what I'm saying? So with all that being said, I just really hope that I was able to really explain that and break that down, because I know you had really want to understand that a little bit more, Christina. So I hope that makes sense. If it don't, just let me know, and we can go further into that. I can break that down a little bit more for you. So just let me know, either get into the comments or get into my DM or however, and let me know whatever question you have. I'm gonna try to answer to the best of my ability. All right, peace and blessings. Appreciate you all for tuning in.